So I've been working on my business, areaview.ai, for about a year now, and we're finally launching. And so I just wanted to give an overview of what the site looks like and what it can do and who it's for. And yeah, so let's just get into it. This is the homepage when you go to areaview.ai, but the main fun stuff is in the map feature. So if we type in address, let's just say UC Davis because I went there. Um, it'll immediately take you to the map page, right? And then it'll immediately populate the map image with different areas color coded based on whichever data value you've selected on the visualized data pane. So right now, median home value is selected. So each of these like areas, they are more green depending on how high they are. So for example, this area, block group 2 of Yolo County, California, has a median home value of 1.2 million, so it's a lot more green than this neighboring block group, which is only 668,000. So yeah, that's what the main feature of the map functionality is. You can visualize data and compare all these different areas to against these data points. So let's go into the data points that we can visualize now. Starting off with home values, as we just saw, 1 through 5 bedroom. Then home rents, same thing, from median in 1 through 5. And then home sizes, square feet and lot size, property taxes paid, vacancy rates, ownership rates, basically how many people own versus rent. Um, and then we move on away from real estate data to crime data. And so we basically have 10 different crime metrics that people can visualize. So this is personal crime, for example. And then you have murder, robbery, rape, all the other different crime rates. And then moving on to socioeconomic data, we have income, poverty. This is our income. We have median household income and then income inequality. Um, and then poverty, we have just poverty rate. Employment, we have unemployment rates and labor force participation rates. Educational attainment, this is just the percentage of the population with the highest level of schooling completed. So, for example, if we go to bachelor's degree, this indicates that 92% of people have their bachelor's degree, which this makes sense considering it's a college town. But that's otherwise a very high percentage. Um, but yeah, doctorate degree, a lot lower, 16, 15 makes more sense. And moving on to healthcare access, this is pretty simple. Just the percentage of people who have healthcare coverage in a town like Davis, for example, these values are going to be a lot higher. So this area is still only 85%. And then activities, this is basically the infrastructure that's available for those set activities. For example, dining and drinking. This is just going to be like the proximity to restaurants and bars. And the same thing for arts and entertainment, travel and transport, health and medicine, business, all of these other ones that people may care about. And then moving on from socioeconomic data is demographics. So you got population. So that's simple total population. And you can broken up by male, female, density, and then median age, and then broken out by male and female as well. Moving on to race. So this, you can basically see the prevalence of which races are more common in which areas. So for example, you can see, oh, this area has more white, like this is 84% white, and this area is 5% black. That's comparatively more than the other areas. Um, and you can also filter by Hispanic or not Hispanic, which is a different class than actual race. Someone can be one of those races and then also be Hispanic or not. Um, but yeah, that's race. And then marital status. These are just whether someone is married or not, based on the gender. And then veteran status, if they served in a war or not. And then moving on to the weather and climate section, we have 3 categories. Weather, basically, you can select all these weather points based on the month. So if I want to see average max 10th of July, it's basically all the same because it's pretty close to each other. And moving on to pollution, there are 8 different pollutant metrics. So traffic proximity, as you can see in this downtown area, it's heavier, but as you get rural, it's not as significant. And there's also all of these metrics. And then moving on to the last is natural disaster risk, which is basically we have, I think, around 20 metrics that people that are natural, that are disasters that are recorded. And so we've captured them here. Um, I think they should, okay, earthquake risk is, okay. So yeah, these are the metrics for natural disaster risk, hurricane. Some of these are basically zero, like it's not going to be a tsunami in the middle of California. Um, but yeah, these are the visualized data points. Um, and yeah, so moving on to the next section, I'm just going to refresh the page so people understand where once they come straight from the page. So starting out with the filter areas, you can basically add any of the metrics that I just went over to the filter area. And let's say I want to filter out homes above areas that have home values above 600,000. Add that and then filter. And then boom, all the areas in which home values are greater than 600,000 are made green. And so you can see this zip code 95618 has a median home value of 918,000. Compared to this one right here, for example, is only 530,000. So it does not get highlighted. And then, so the cool thing is you can do multiple at once. You can do up to 25 actually. So let's say I want to say median home value is greater than 600,000 and median home rents. Let's say I want to go less than let's go less than 3,000. So areas that have a high price of homes but low rents. And then you can see these areas are like that. This area has in Sacramento has 666,800, but only 2,200 rent. So maybe this area is a better area to rent compared to owning. And then you can add up to 25 of them. You can do them for all categories at once if you like. If you also want to make sure you're in a safe area, you can go overall crime rate. Let's go less than 10% and filter. And that gets rid of basically all of these because that's a pretty ridiculously low crime rate percentile. So maybe if we want to do a crime rate of 30, it's more reasonable. And yeah, so this area is pretty safe compared to some of the others. So yeah, that's the filter areas button and filter areas feature. And yeah, let's move on to the next one. So moving on to the next feature is something that I think is personally very cool. It's the generate a report feature. So for any of these areas, if you click on the different area in question, for example, let's say I want to click on this census tract, I can click generate report, and then it'll say generate a report for this area. 100 credits will be deducted from your account. Credits are basically the currency in this app. So the only thing you can really buy with credits are these reports, but they serve the purpose of for users to basically collect all the data that's listed in this visualized data pane, all localized into one report, so they don't have to like keep I can't even talk right now. Keep clicking on each of them and just seeing the data points. They can see it all at once in one location. And so basically 100 credits is $10, but you can buy more at a bulk discount. And if you are subscribed to either the investor or the professional plan, you get a certain amount of credits allotted per month. It is 500 for the investor and 10,000 for the professional plan. But yeah, so if you click generate your report, I have plenty of credits in my account. It'll take a little bit of time to run all the queries and generate the actual PDF. But once it's done, you will get a PDF of that area with the data. So if you click view report, it'll take you to this page. And yeah, this is what it looks like. Complete area report. This is the cover for census tract. And yeah, you have the location map and then some description of real estate characteristics because this is the real estate section. And so, yeah, getting into some of the data points: home values by number of bedrooms, historical home values, home rents, historical home rents, home types, decade built, number of bedrooms, home sizes, mortgage and property taxes, housing tenure, vacancy status, vacancy reason, and then getting into socioeconomic characteristics, um, income, historical median income, income sources, occupation, unemployment, labor force participation, income inequality, poverty rate, healthcare access, commute times, commuting methods, commute time distribution, educational attainment, it's a big one, walkability, things to do, and then moving on to demographics. This is basically population, gender distribution, median age distribution, population density, race, Hispanic Latino, birthplace, language, marital status, veteran status, and then moving on to crime data is basically the only 10 crime metrics we have. Weather and climate, we got temperature, cloud coverage, humidity, monthly rainfall, wind speed, dew point, UV index, and then pollution, just the 8 pollutants. The natural disaster risk, these are all of the risks that are over 1% or percentile. Um, yeah, so I mean, it doesn't show all 20 if the area doesn't have a risk for all of them. And then just a disclaimer that all of this report is based on publicly available data and private data, and we believe it to be reliable, but this is not investment advice. Um, but yeah, so that's the report generation. So now I want to talk about the pricing structure. So if you create an account, you can just be on the free plan, which gets you basic visualizations and filtering, um, and basically allows you to test out all the features. But you don't get all access to all of the data points. But you can, after you've created an account, you can purchase credits individually so that you can generate the reports without having to subscribe. So, for example, for 100 credits, normally it costs $10. I am on the professional plan that gets you a discount. So it would be 8, but generally as it increases, you get a discount, a volume discount. So 1,000 credits is $6 per report, with 100 credits being $8 per report. So the more you buy, the more discounted you get, and you don't have to actually subscribe to get the report generation. But if you do want to upgrade to one of these investor or professional plans, you can get included credits. So, for example, you get 500 credits every month for the investor plan. That gets you 5 reports. This gets you 100 reports if you really want it. In the professional plan, um, the investor plan basically allows you to visualize any data points and filter up to 5 metrics at once. Um, the professional, the same thing as the investor, except you can filter up to 25 metrics at once, which can be really good in finding an area that really meets all your specifications. But also you get something called a credit earn rate multiplier on both. It's 2 for the investor and 3 for the professional, which basically means that on the forum, whenever you post, you can earn credits. So if you were a free user, you wanted to earn credits without actually having to pay money. If you're really active on the forum, if you're making posts, good quality posts that get a lot of likes and comments, then you can basically get funded the credits you need to generate reports. So you get, I think it's 2 credits for creating a post, and then a credit for each like that you get on, and then you get and then you get 1 credit for a like and 1 credit for a comment. Or if you get likes in your comments, that's also 1 credit. But if you're on the professional plan, that's 3. You get a 3 times multiplier. So instead of 2 credits, you get 6 per post, and instead of 1 credit per like, you get 3. So yeah, if you can imagine, once this is once there are a lot of people using this forum, um, if you make a good quality post that a lot of people like or engage with, you can basically get these reports for free. So you can see right now, Big Bob just signed up. He is, I think that's my dad, to be honest. But I'm happy that he's signing up. And basically, you can filter by hot, best, top, new, rising. Kind of the same way that you would on any forum. This is kind of like Reddit. And you can filter based on the different categories: commercial, financing and lending, fix and flip projects. There's, of course, nothing here right now, but hopefully there will be some later on. So yeah, this is my website. This is my business that I've spent the better part of a year, almost 2 years at this point, working on, just collecting all of the data and figuring out a way to store it and display it properly, putting it on the internet and having everything hosted. It's been a lot of work, and it's finally about ready for everyone to use. Um, so yeah, if you watched all of this so far, I am, and you want to check it out, feel free. I'll have a link down below. Also, discount code YouTube25. Here, I'll just show you how it can work. So if you want to buy anything, this will work site wide across for anything you want to buy. Let's say you wanted to purchase this, and then you go, once the page loads, you can go to YouTube 25, apply that, and then your discount, you get 25% off. So if you want to use that, I would love for you to. But yeah, please check it out if you find the time. Give me any feedback you have, and thank you for watching it. Appreciate it. Take care, everyone.